Welcome back to Bullshit Creepypasta Storytime, where I find the most horrific stories known to man that got sent to the Trollpasta Wiki or will end up there soon enough. And today is no exception, as we'll be diving headfirst into the haunting story, simply called Possessed Pokemon Blue. These people didn't want their names said in this story, so all names will be changed except for mine. One day, me and my friend, we'll call him James, were talking on the phone. He said he found his favorite Pokemon game, Pokemon Blue for the Game Boy Color, a bold choice. He said he lost the game a few years ago. He said, again, he found it in the fireplace under some burnt logs, because that's where video games go. But why it was there, he didn't know. So he said he was going to play it and exploit every glitch he could think of, like the Mew glitch, Missing No, and Glitch City. He even said, maybe when I'm done, you can borrow the game. I replied by saying, you know I already have that game and it's not even that good. We went on for about 10 minutes arguing about how he thought Blue was the best and how I thought Emerald was the best and how Yuriofwind hates both of you for being a Gen 1er and a Gen 3er. I then finished the argument by saying, okay, I'll take the game I already own, but just as long as I get to keep your team. How you would play through the game like that is kind of impossible, but whatever. He then replied with a firm deal, and we both hung up. 3 weeks later, in that same paragraph, because this story thinks gigantic paragraphs are fun, but I called up James to ask if he was done with the game, and in parentheses, you don't know this, but James is the best Pokemon player ever, in all caps. He can beat a game in 2 days and get his Pokemon to level 100 in only 2 weeks. Wow, James doesn't have a life. He's incredible. However, he didn't answer. I thought he was busy, with the Pokemon thing, so I hung up and decided to call later. The next day, I called again, because that seemed later enough, but still no answer. I had no idea what was going on. He was never away for both weekends, and there's no way he could somehow hate me now. I'm so great at writing. I decided to ask him at school tomorrow. The next day, he wasn't at school. Actually, he hasn't been to school in the past 2 weeks. Wow, you're a really bad friend. Your friend's been missing for weeks. I just noticed yesterday. So, I decided to ask my parents to drive me to his house. They agreed, and we drove up to James's house. I knocked on the door, and his mother came out. She was wearing a robe and had a cigarette in her right hand and a bottle of alcohol in her left. A real winner is what he's trying to convey here. You could smell that she had about a pack this morning, because I got really close to her and smelled her down. And she said in a raspy voice, "Oh, it's you." And in parentheses, "Oh, did I mention she didn't like me? Much like she didn't like having a son. She saw me as a second child, seeing as how often I come over. I like to break in every now and then and sleep at the edge of her bed." "He's in his room," the lady said in response to the not question I didn't ask. I said okay and went inside. As I did, I heard James's mother mutter, "Damn kid hasn't come down in days, only came out to eat, and I'm wasted." As I walked up the stairs, I was coming closer to James's room. As I got to his door, I knocked. No answer. I knocked again. Still no answer. After 2 sets of knocks, I put my ear up to the door, because that's the official rule of what to do in this situation, and what I heard made my spine tingle. I heard the Lavender Town theme. I don't think Game Boys are that loud. But James didn't like the Lavender Town theme, especially after I told him about that creepypasta about the suicides in Japan concerning that music. That wasn't true, but I just thought it was fun to fuck with him. Even Wem being a brand new word invented especially for this story, but even when I told him it was all fake, he still hated to listen to it. I was listening for All one word, by the way. Listened for is our second brand new word today. But I listened for about 10 seconds until I heard a loud bang. I jumped back and wondered what the fuck, but I knew what I had to do. I walked away from the door and tried to ram it with my arm. Me author, me smash! I hit the door the first time and cried out, son of a ... I didn't write that part down. I walked back again and ran towards the door. Again. Damn it! I hate doors! I cried. I hit my arm on the hard wood. However, the door was weakened by his superhuman author strength. I felt as the door pushed in more, it would only take one more hit based on my author's sense of door opening skills. I felt weak, but I knew I needed to get in there. What if he was hurt? I have to destroy his property at any cost. I stepped back and slammed the door in. As I opened my eyes, still closed from the intense pain in my left arm. You know, you could have used the door handle also, just as a side note after the fact. But everything looked normal until I looked up to see James facing a wall with his head between his knees for some reason. The Pokemon Blue game in the Game Boy Advance SP. A hammer, and several screwdrivers, and a small pile of papers sitting next to him. Goody, arts and crafts. I ran up to James. I kept asking, are you alright? What happened? What was that bang? And damn it, answer me over and over again, because those are the only things I could think to say. But I never got a response. So, I took the chance to have a look around. So, I said so again, I decided to look at the papers. The papers had words and phrases on them. Almost as if someone had been using the paper for its intended use. One said, welcome to my world. Another said, you will die. And a third page said, welcome to hell. After that, I decided to stop and go for the game. As I reached for the Game Boy, a hand grabbed my arm. It was James! Oh, shock and awe. The only other person in the room is the one who grabbed you. Don't, he said in a weak voice. That game is evil. An evil game? I said in disbelief. Author says stupidly. If it's so evil, so having two O's, why didn't you destroy it? Or pawn it off on some stupid kid? I tried, he yelled. I tried taking it apart piece by piece, which must have been difficult. It's like, what, 3 pieces altogether? But it came back together like magic. I tried smashing it with a hammer, but it wouldn't break. I tried burning it in the fireplace where I found it the first time, but it wouldn't burn. When I tried throwing it off the park bridge into the stream, it just came back. The game is apparently a boomerang also. That's neat. Well, why is it still on? I asked. Oh, he said while looking at the game. It is. That song got into my head. I didn't even notice. Well, I said, what if I take the game, get rid of it for you? Would you please? He said. Sure, I replied. Thank you, but you must remember to never play it. It is a cursed game. Don't worry, author said. You promise to only get rid of it? James said. Yes, author said. Good, said James, because that game must never be played by anyone ever again. You can trust me, said author, which of course means stupid here is going to play the game in about 5 minutes or less. So after that, I took the game and had my parents take me home, saying that James wasn't feeling well, and in parentheses, and that wasn't a complete lie. Okay. I could see that my parents were relieved to leave, as it seemed they didn't want to stay around James's mother anymore. That must have been the same feeling James's father had, I'm assuming. Later that day, my curiosity got the best of you, son of a bitch, as I knew it would. My curiosity always gets the best of me. I'm dumb. And I put the Pokemon Blue game inside my Game Boy. The game started up the same, and in curiosity, I selected continue first, just to see his team. He had a normal team. all between level 60 to 80. Well, apparently he's not the master of Pokemon you thought he was. None of these Pokemon are level 100. But he had a Charizard, Pikachu, Gyarados, Snorlax, and lastly, a Mew. Of course, he had done the Mew glitch, or he's a magician. But the weird part was that they were all fainted except for his Charizard, which had 1 HP. I decided to turn the game back off and start a new game. But not save because I wanted his team. That's not really how this game... You can't use his team in a new playthrough, but whatever you want to do. So when I started, I was shocked because I had started the game in Lavender Town. I had thought I had accidentally selected continue until I looked at my party. All the same Pokemon James had, except they were fully healed. He activated a save file in an alternate dimension where someone had the foresight to go to the Pokemon Center. So I decided to take a look around. No one wanted to talk to me, and the only ones who did said things like, "Leave now, and this place will kill you." Well, it's just like real life. And one NPC even said, "I have taken many, and you are next." But that didn't stop me and my stupid. I decided to go to the Pokemon Tower, because nothing bad could possibly happen in there. That's a happy place. Which looks much different. It was broken halfway down, and when I entered the room, was all pink instead of blue, and there was a strange type of pattern on the ground. It kind of reminded me of the last level of Earthbound when you get to the final boss. You know how last levels are with their final bosses. The Lavender Town theme was much quieter this time, and shouldn't have been playing at all because you're in the Pokemon Tower, but I could hear some strange things in it, such as something that sounded like a scream, some high pitches, like in the creepypasta of Lavender Theme Syndrome. I thought it was Lavender Town Syndrome. But anyways, those inside the tower, I saw trainers, but these trainers were, dead, but they still wanted to fight. These dead people were real go-getters. Their sprites were trainers, but laying on the ground, covered in blood, some with their eyes gouged out, just 'cause. I was sick to my stomach when I saw this. Their Pokemon were dead, zombie-like forms of the starter Pokemon. They all were level 100. These people are all better trainers than James, I just want to point that out, but had only 1 HP, so they died in one hit. You'll notice, I said died, if you can read, unlike myself. But I hate it when people say their Pokemon die. Pokemon don't die. They faint. Of course, they must die at some point. They're not fucking immortal, but whatever. However, God, another new word. In this game, every time I beat a Pokemon, it said, Bulbasaur died, or something like that. That'll sound really nice at the eulogy. As I kept fighting my way through hordes of dead trainers, I got to a dead end. Go figure. But there was an old man. He was my last opponent. When I fought him, he said, "Welcome to my world," which sounded strangely familiar, cause you read it on that piece of paper just before going against your friend's wishes because you're a bad person. He sent out a level 100 Weezing, and the battle went on like this. Imagine it in your minds. Weezing used self-destruct. Pikachu died. Weezing died. Old man sent out Marowak. Go Snorlax! Marowak used Earthquake. It's super effective. Snorlax died. Also, Snorlax is now apparently a ground type. I had no idea. Go Gyarados! Gyarados used Hydro Pump. It's super effective. Marowak died. Old man sent out Death, sometimes referred to by its street name, Jigglypuff and or Fat D. But Death happened to be Ghost, the one you see without a silph scope. Death used Grab. Strange. Hadn't seen that move before. Gyarados died. Go! Dots! Nothing happened. Old man said, "What's wrong? Are you scared?" With an answer of yes or no that came up. Being scared shitless, 'cause it doesn't take much apparently. I had no idea what to say, so I said no. Old man said, "Ha ha ha ha. You say that, but I see you, Kyle. You can't escape this." Wait, your name is Kyle? If you're connected to Sonic in any way, I hate you. Anyways, "You can't escape this. You will die." At that point, I realized that it was saying what was written on the papers in James's rooms. "Fuck you're slow, Kyle." I said, "I'm done," in caps, and tried to turn the game off, but it wouldn't go off. Old man said, "Mwahahahaha, you can't turn off this game. Now send out your next Pokemon." Without having a choice, because it's not like the Game Boy runs on a set of batteries you could pull out. I sent out Mew. Death used Scream. An unbearable scream came from the speakers, so loud I thought it was still going 5 seconds after it was done. Alright, Mew died though. Old man, "Mwahaha, now for your last Pokemon. Go, Charizard." Charizard used Endure, which I don't remember being in Gen 1. But Death used Kill. Charizard survived with 1 HP. Ooh, the symbolism. Just like James. But Charizard used Incinerate. I don't know that move. But Ghost burned in a fire. Old man said, "No! But you cannot leave because this is hell." Mwahahahaha. At that point, the game shut off. I was shocked at what I saw, and knew this game was evil because later that day, I heard voices and the Lavender Town music, even though the game wasn't on. Well, maybe you're just going insane, Kyle. Did you think about that? I decided to burn it in the fireplace, because that worked really well the last time. I watched it as it burned, turned black, and I actually slept peacefully that night, knowing that the game couldn't hurt anyone, even though it technically didn't hurt you or your friends so much as prove that you can't follow basic instructions and also you're a bad friend. But the next morning, I went to James's house to tell him the good news, that I didn't listen to him and I'm a bad person. But when I got there, his mother came out, but not with a cigarette or her bottle of alcohol. In fact, I didn't even smell smoke or alcohol in her breath as she spoke. This is the scariest part of the entire story. She didn't even sound mad to see me. "Who are you?" Oh, but she was a whole new woman. I don't know why I think that's funny. Anyways, she said to me, "Oh, Kyle, nice to see you." "Nice?" I asked. "Yes," she replied. "James, comma, he's not here, comma, well, where is he?" asked Kyle. His mother actually started to tear up. "He, comma, he's dead. He committed suicide just a few hours ago." What I said in complete shock and all in caps, "This isn't funny, Mrs. Larson. You can tell how not funny it is because I'm holding caps lock like there's no tomorrow." Oh, also, that's her name in the story also. Could have used it earlier in the story when she was a more relevant character, but no. Anyways, "No joke, honey. Here, take this. It's signed to you. I'm guessing it's his suicide note." Give it to Kyle, why not? I opened the crudely folded letter. James never was good at folding things. It read, "Dear, my dear friend Kyle." James never could write. "You played the game, didn't you? They told me, caps, they said you played it. They said you brought them here. They also said you're stupid. Well, now it's too late. Goodbye, my friend. I couldn't take it anymore, so I have killed myself. I say, from the future, goodbye, my foolish, dumb, stupid friend. Signed, James." His mother started up again. This was left next to the note. I guess he wanted you to have this. And in her hand, she held, again, Pokemon Blue game cartridge. Bum, dum, dum. And thus ends our story. Yet another author who's a complete idiot who can't listen to basic instructions that say the game is haunted, don't play the game, whatever you do, don't play the game, please just stop, don't play the game. They go home, they knock stuff over off their desk, and then they play the fucking game. You killed your friend Kyle. I hope you're happy with yourself. But this has been Bullshit Creepypasta Storytime. I'm sorry I knocked stuff off my desk. Welcome back, one and all, to Endslate. You just watched a Bullshit Creepypasta Storytime on Possessed Pokemon Blue, which I hope you enjoyed. But enough prattle. Let's move on to the beef of what an Endslate is of talking. Hey, how's it going? You know, at the top of the screen, there's some videos that, you know, if you click on them, they will take you to videos if you click on them. The first one I would like to recommend is the last video I did on this channel, which was an obscure gaming on bootleg Power Ranger games. Two of those were technically Super Sentai games, although they said Power Rangers at the title screen. So, technically. The two other videos are going to be two other videos. Probably two recent videos that YouTube didn't send anyone's fucking subscription box. Because they don't do that. Because they added a bell. Speaking of which, if you like the video and you want to like it or share it or subscribe or hit the bell, that's all greatly appreciated. Thank you. I won't harass you about it. But that's all nice things that I appreciate, but not going to force you to do that because it makes me feel weird. Bottom of the screen, you'll notice that there's some social media stuff going on. Nico, for example, he does art, and Nico has social media. Nico is actually doing some new art, and there might be Yuriofwind t-shirts. I don't want to say for 100% certainty at this point that there's going to be, but there might be. So, fair warning, that's a thing that might happen. Wasn't my idea. They approached me. But yeah, I'll update on that when there's time to, when that's a thing that I can update on. But I can't update I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna stop talking about that, talk about something else. Patreon. If you want to support me on Patreon so I can focus on making more content, that's also greatly appreciated. To the people who support me, I have thanks to give in the form of actual thank yous that we're going to do right now. So a giant thank you and mad props to Ben Shaw, Darth Penguin, Nikki Patelli, Brandon, made a second account so I can safely make joke names as much as I think there's supposed to be a want there, but it got cut off. I get what you're saying, though. Thank you very much. Harley Crawley. Yeah, that's right. Labla 547. Brian. He, ho, and in parentheses, Grace. Brendan Wilbanks. I just thought of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for some reason. JJ Rulin, Shulks Minato, Abdul Kareem Torres, Nikki Layman, Sally from 3 Ice Cube Show, D-Mansland, how you doing, man? Jacob Sifford, Ryan Macklin, Paul Walker, Tio Santores, Joseph Pueo, Voltron, Skyward Keyblade, Joseph Constantine, Nolan, I always want to say North so badly. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Nolan North's in everything. I can't help it. He does the voice for Deadpool and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. He does a good job. Christina Coleman, Doc Drazen, Andrew Arana, Aaron Brewington, David Freesley, Fernando Silva, Rodrigo Derez, Beautiful Yoshi, Steven Seference, Zet the Legendary Hero, The wheels on the bus go die, die, die. That's pretty good. Wade Tomorrow, Aheo Breezy, Richard Lahif, Greg Wool. I almost said Greg Wolf. I'm sorry about that. Vicious Phantom, Mr. Bowler, Robert Brennan McKinnon. Mitchell is one of my favorite episodes of Mr. Science Theater 3000. Janda. I added the middle part. Mitchell Janda. It is one of my favorite episodes, though. Last one with Joel. That's sad. Sergio Diego Martinez, Crazen, Megamers, Mio Kuroshima, Jay Steria, Matt Jonas, Rory O'Carroll. Sorry, my mouth did weird. Rory O'Carroll. Hi. Matt Metzmakers, Kempachi Ramasama, Lon Lon Rancher 86, Anthony Mang, Squiggly Kip, Crow Feathers, Fat D, who made an appearance in this video, Alex Rowley, Kelsey Lowensbury, Eric Camacho, Jonathan Klaus, Shay Montgomery, Joseph Hitsky, Ryan Cole, Jacob Epler, Fantastic Hairman Desu. That's another good one. River Casey and Joel Guzman. And of course, thank you to everyone else. And thank you for watching this video. Next time on End Slate, it's going to be tomorrow. Because I'm uploading a new video tomorrow. That's right. I said it. So, expect that. People who are on the Patreon already know what video it is. Or, well, they know one of the videos it could be. I don't think I might... I'm going to tell them what it is in an update. So they'll know. They'll know. But, I'll see you guys next time on End Slate. This one is 6 minutes. Someone's going to yell at me in the comments section.